Hello, people sitting at house. I said this would happen, and I was right that it would happen. Unfortunately, I was right that the numbers will go over 100 in Cavan. The numbers have gone up 115, and that's the total amount in Cavan at the moment. This pocket has expanded in Cavan. It started off as a small pocket of 5 people infected in this one area. It grew into a huge pocket now, and it's spreading now around the local vicinity in that area, and it's affecting a huge amount of people. There's 39 extra cases. That is a huge amount for one day. But that's a huge amount. That is a huge amount for a county the size of Cavan. And I'm just saying to people, if you live in that area, you would be informed by the local authorities. By Garda Síochána Conaill, obviously there would be extra Garda presence around that whole area. I'm just saying to people, it's very, very dangerous, this outbreak in Cavan. And I'm saying to people, if you're in that area, please, unless it's completely essential to go outside, don't go out. Usually would say to people, go out and get your exercise, but this is very, very serious in this area. We can't cope with the numbers. If many more people need to go into ICU in Cavan, we won't be able to cope, and many people will die because we don't have the machines to keep people alive, and we don't have the beds to keep people alive. Which is very hard to say, but it's very true that could happen. But I'm saying to people, please, limit your social activity as much as possible, because this has gone out of proportions. Altogether, Cavan for a long time had 4 cases. Now it's 115 in just less than 3 weeks. For a good few weeks, the first time we came to Ireland, for a good few weeks we were on 4 and we kept at 4. But this pocket, the only reason why it happened, and I tell people straight, we didn't have the testing, wasn't done quick enough in Cavan. The testing wasn't done quick enough, it wasn't expanded quick enough. And because we're waiting so long for testing, there were so many people around the country getting the coronavirus. Obviously we couldn't trace who was getting, who was in contact with this person, who wasn't, and that's what buggered us up. And I might as well say it straight, because we would have got this under control only for everything else went wrong at the same time, and that's what went wrong. And I'm very positive that's what went wrong. It could be just an act of God too. In Monaghan, it's not good either. 52 cases is an increase of 33. Although it's Monaghan's, a decent, it's not that high, which is great. But in Cavan, it's severe, and I mean severe. We're expecting maybe 200 cases at the end of this week, and that's simple as that. We're expecting 200 cases. That's what everybody's expecting. We get 200 to 300 cases maybe end of this month, could be. I don't know. We just don't know. It changes very quickly. The only thing we can do is hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Because it is really starting to seep in this county, and it's really, really starting to cause really havoc around here. And I'm saying to people not to panic. This is one thing we don't need. We don't want anybody to panic. We try and contain this as much as we can. But I'm saying to people, it's up to you, people of Cavan and Monaghan, to make your own choices and make your own decisions where you go. We're not saying to people don't go out for a walk. In this area, we're saying to people, just don't go out. But I'm saying to people outside these areas, we can go out for a walk, but please don't bring 100 people with you, or don't have house parties or anything like that. Because we are very, very busy. The emergency services, along with the local authorities, we are very, very busy. We're trying to help elderly people out that are cocooning at the moment. And we can't be everywhere, and as simple as that. We're not trying to keep people locked up in their houses, but please be responsible for yourself. As I know people in Cavan and Monaghan will be. Please, this is really, really serious. A lot of people will die, but we have to do our best to try and contain this. And we are doing our best to try and contain this. But we have loads of testing kits now, which is great. And hopefully we'll put them to the best of use. And I'm just saying to people, because it was something said in Cavan about, and around the country too, there's some people going and they didn't need to get tested. They didn't even have a flu-like system or anything like that. Please don't do that. Please just don't make up rubbish with the doctor and just say, you know, you want to get tested. You know, please, unless you have the symptoms, please, you know, go get tested then. But please don't, you know, do that and waste, you know, the HSE's time. But there's a big increase, and I say to people, you know, to be aware of this and to be careful out and about in Cavan. Because it is a very uncertain time, and that's as simple as that. But anyway, be careful everybody and take care.